Welcome to part 1 of our series on contouring. Let's jump right in. I'm going to start off with a round eyeshadow brush and my NYX 3 Steps to Sculpt contouring palette. Since I've got a full face, I've got to find where my cheekbone is so that I can locate the underside. This is easily done by rolling the brush along the cheek and feeling for where it stops. Then with a very small amount of contour powder, I'm going to begin shading under the cheekbone. We always begin closest to the ear and shade toward the center of the face. Now hold your brush in a vertical fashion through the center of your pupil. You generally don't want to bring your contour any closer to the center of the face than that line. Shading from the ear toward the nose allows most of the color to be applied on the outside of our cheek and then taper slightly toward the center, which is how it would look on a naturally sculpted cheekbone. Contouring is all about adding dimension to the face by sculpting the features and enhancing your face shape. The goal of contouring is to make shadows on the face. With a little practice, you can place the shadows on your face to define your cheekbones, your jawline, your nose, forehead, chin. And what I recommend if you're new to contouring, if you've never done it before, I recommend you just try one part of the face. Master the cheekbone. Once you've got that down, then you can move on to something else. Now, since I've gotten a little older and a little heavier, I've got that jowl there and I've got less definition around my jawline. So I'm just going to sharpen that up a little bit. And all I'm doing is feeling for the underside of my jaw until I get to the jowl. When I get to the jowl, I want to go on top a little bit. But everything else is underneath the jawline. Now we'll smooth this out in a minute, but when I get down to the bottom there, I can actually do a little bit of shading just by going straight back about an inch on me. And that way, if that little double chin is showing when I take a picture, it won't be there. And if you're wanting to do this on an everyday basis, just make sure that you're doing extra blending to make sure that everything looks as natural as possible. It's fun to do those dramatic Instagram model makeup moments, but most of us really just want to be able to walk outside and look like the best version of ourselves possible. Now that I'm pretty happy with my cheek contour and my jawline, I'm going to add my blush. And for me and my face shape, it's going to go right on top of the cheekbone. While we're doing that in the background, I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope that you are gaining from it already. And now I have to say all the cheesy YouTube things like, I'm hoping you will so very much please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to my channel so that I will know that the universe loves me, or something like that. I'm not going to edit that out. It's gonna stay even if it was weird. I'm weird and it's okay to be weird. And there's my cheesy reminder on the screen. Okay, so here's what we're not going to do today. We're not talking about nose contouring. That is a whole nother video. Now I'm going to show you where I would place my highlight. I'm just using my powder for this. When it comes to highlighting, you can use a highlight cream, you can use a highlight powder, you can use something with a bunch of shimmery, glowy stuff in it, and you can just use a concealer if you want. Once I'm done, I'm going to get to one of the most important things that you need to know about contouring your face, and that is how to contour for your face shape. So if you were extremely bored with all of this blending and beautification, you can move ahead to minute 7. Go ahead, go. Now, if you're still here, I'm going to show you how to use concealer to sharpen up your features. When I place the concealer underneath my already contoured cheekbone, it's going to sharpen it up and it's going to make it look more sleek and lifted. So even though I have a naturally more full cheek that's more rounded, I can give it a more dimensional look this way. And you can use the same concept on your jawline to actually sharpen that and make it look more snatched. Now I'm going to take my concealer and fill in that little dip right there that's right before my jowl. And it's just going to give a soft, subtle illusion that that is a little bit more of a rounded chin then. Playing with the dark and the light colors, creating the shadows and figuring out where you want the light to appear is really a lot of fun. It does take patience, but you can do it. And that's really all we're doing. As much as we physically can, we're just placing the shadows where we want them to be, and we're placing the light where we want it to be. And by manipulating them, you can literally change the look of your face. We are swiftly coming up on the next part of this video, which is going to show you exactly where you will put your contour based on your face shape. If you do not know what your face shape is, I will have some interesting and helpful tidbits in the description for you so that you can figure it out. Finally, I'm going to use a little bit of my concealer to continue to contour my face from the corner of my eye to my temple. I absolutely love to do this because it gives me a little bit of an eye lift look on the side, and it continues to give me that dimension and lift that cheekbone up. And there's my snatched cheek. And there's a close look at the difference between one side and the other. Now I'm going to feverishly wash this off of my face, and we're going to move on. And I'm going to use my cream palette today to demonstrate where contour goes for different face shapes. The first face shape we're going to talk about is the round face shape. A round face shape just means that your face is roughly the same length and width, and that there's probably no pointy jawline. And for this demonstration, the brown represents the contour and the cream color will represent the highlight. Onto rectangular shapes. Rectangular shapes are similar to a square-shaped face, but they are longer than they are wide. Now, I'm not going to cover every single face shape there is today, but I will put some links in the description that will help you find your face shape if you don't already know what it is. Today, I'm just going to cover a few of the basic shapes. And it's important to understand that just because your face shape says you should contour one way doesn't mean that it's an absolute rule. The last thing we want to do is suck all the fun out of makeup. And if we start making strict rules, nothing will be fun, and we won't experiment with anything to figure out if something works better for us. And I'd love for you to remember that when you're faced with a makeup rule of thumb, that you take it under consideration and then do what is best for your face. Now I'm going to finish up with my face shape, which is an oval shape. And there's so many different ways to apply contour. Some people like to put it under their foundation. Some people like to put it over their foundation. Others like to put all the different colors on their face at once and then blend everything together. There's no right or wrong way. It's the way that you prefer to do it. My two favorite ways are to actually put my contour on top of my makeup, which I did in the beginning of the video. My second favorite way is when I'm using cream makeup, I like to go ahead and put all of my contour marks, my highlight marks, and everything on my face at the same time. And then when everything's on there, blend it. Now, just a reminder, in case your mind is playing tricks on you today, you matter, you're important, you're loved, and your presence on this earth makes a difference whether you see it or not. Have a great day, beautiful.